What does success look like? If someone were to ask you, what does success look like? What would you say? You may describe success as someone driving an expensive sports car or luxury car. You may consider someone being very successful as having a 10-bedroom mansion. Others may envision someone in a beautiful business suit speaking to executives. Whatever you consider as success, that is your standard of success. And that's totally fine. But I want you to consider my opinion of success. See, in my opinion of success, the journey that one takes to reach success is what success is about. That to me is true success. 30 years ago, Gail Kelly was a bank teller at Nedcor Bank in Johannesburg, South Africa. She arrived to work 30 minutes early so she could prepare and get herself ready to face customers for that day. She greeted every customer with the most beautiful smile. She was kind to her coworkers, yet demanding of herself. She felt that her actions, how she performed, set the standard for how other bank tellers in that same position should perform. Management recognized her dedication to the position, and they eventually promoted her to head teller. During that particular time, she was also going to college. She obtained her business degree in college, and Nedcor Bank decided to make her head of human resource. Once head of human resource, she really excelled. She excelled so much so that she was presented with an opportunity to interview for a general manager position with St. George Bank in Sydney, Australia. In 2001, Gail, her husband, and 4 kids moved to Sydney, Australia, where she became the general manager of St. George Bank. While there, she continued to do the same things that made her a great teller, but with all the knowledge and experience that she gained along the way. All of those little steps that she took along the way to eventually be recognized for a prestigious position such as General Manager of St. George Bank. In Australia, the second largest bank, Westpac Bank, recognized her as well. They saw the energy that she was bringing to St. George Bank, and they made an offer to her. An offer that I guess you would say she couldn't refuse. She became the first female CEO of Westpac Bank. As I stated before, the second largest bank in Australia with over $600 billion in assets and 36,000 employees. All of that now was under the stewardship of Gail Kelly. Can you believe 30 years ago, she was just a bank teller? But because of her drive, because of her appreciation of those little steps, those little successes, being able to have the opportunity to be a teller, and then her appreciation at being promoted to head teller, and then working extremely hard, not only as a head teller, but in obtaining her education so she could move on to being head of human resource. And all of those little steps added up to her becoming the first female CEO of Westpac Bank in Australia. Forbes has Gail Kelly listed as the 62nd most powerful woman in the world. The most powerful woman in the world. 62nd is what they have Gail Kelly ranked. And to think, only 30 years ago, she was a bank teller. Little steps and little successes. Do you appreciate those? You've got to appreciate those. Because those little steps, those little successes will eventually add up to monumental steps and monumental successes for you. Let's look at a salesperson, a door-to-door salesperson. They may have a goal set for themselves that every day that they go out, they need to get one sale. But when they go out every day, they may not get any sales at all for that week. However, that salesperson has to look back on that week, and they have to look for those little successes that occurred during that week. And when they look at those successes, they may realize that although they did not get any sales, they're now 50 persons closer to getting to that one person that eventually will buy their product or service. They also may have obtained several leads from those persons that they met. They also had an opportunity to practice their speech, their sales pitch, 50 times. So not only have they identified the little successes that occurred, they can also now appreciate the little steps that will occur for them as well. And what I mean by that will occur for them, those little steps that will occur for them, is that they have to ask themselves a question. Well, why did I not get any sales this week? And there could be various different things that occurred to cause them not to get any sales. But what if they didn't get any sales because they need to work on their sales pitch? They may need to read a little bit more on the subject of selling. They may need to interview some of the top salespersons in their office to also get advice on how they can improve their selling as well. Those are the little steps. Those are the little steps. And there are some people that would just say, no, I don't feel like doing all of that. That's a lot of work. However, that salesperson deciding to do those little steps, when they go out next week and the following week and a couple of weeks after that, what they begin to notice is that they finally have gotten their first sale for the week, their first sale. And what they have to do when they get that first sale is that they have to appreciate that. They have to appreciate that first sale, because that little success and those little steps that they took to get to being able to make that first sale, that's what's going to carry them forward. And all they need to do is remember how they got that first sale and continue improving upon their skills. So eventually what takes place later on down the road for this salesperson is that they start to get even more and more sales. They may even become the top salesperson in their office month after month. They may even get promoted to regional sales director. But most importantly, the eventual success of them becoming whatever they become in the arena of sales is not what made them successful. The true success was in between deciding to be a salesperson and eventually making it to a level that they could truly be proud of in their career field or in their business field. It's those little steps in between, those little successes in between, and how you deal with those failures that will creep up on your journey to success. So in closing, I want you to look at success totally different. I don't want you to judge success on the end results. I want you to judge success on your ability to stay in the gap, to appreciate those little steps that are required to get those little successes that will help you overcome those failures that creep up to where you eventually will get to the results that you so desire. Appreciate the gap in between, the different things in between that will occur for you. And you will have a different understanding, a different perception of success. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in.